Hey everybody, it's me Chris. I'm back in the kitchen, DJ Vonna Family Recipes. You gotta subscribe to my YouTube channel. And tonight I'm gonna make a recipe that my family loves. Probably one of my all-time greats. And people have been asking me about it, how to make it, so I make this video. My sister Angie asked me, you gotta make this video, so I'm gonna show you how to make it. Chicken Marsala. I'm gonna make it with some really delicious rice. So let me show you the ingredients that we're gonna use. Alright, so very simple. We got some boneless, skinless chicken breast. It came whole. I just cleaned it and sliced it into thin medallions. Of course, you have your mushrooms. These are the button mushrooms. I took out the stems and just with a damp paper towel, I wiped off all the dirt. I got some shallots here, and this is an unusual ingredient. It's not traditional, but I add it, and it adds a really great layer of flavor. It's like a mild onion flavor. I got some extra virgin olive oil over here. I got the Marsala wine. You can't make chicken Marsala without this. And I would recommend you get a bottle kind of like this. This is Opici Vineyards. It's imported from Italy. It's only $8 for this whole half-gallon bottle. Do not get cooking wine because it is not really wine. It's made with chemicals or something, but it's not wine. I got 2 cups of rice. Some dried thyme I'm using for my rice today because I don't have any fresh. Just a little bit of cream, which is another unusual ingredient, but I add it. It makes the sauce a little bit more silky and creamy. Some plain flour. I got a can of chicken broth, and I got just a little bit of parsley to garnish it at the end. So I got my pot set up. I'm going to show you how we cut the vegetables. Alright, so take a look. This is a shallot, and I just want to show you how I cut this. It's pretty much like an onion. I just cut off the ends, and then I'll make a cut down the middle. Alright, just to get the paper opened and peel the outside. And these are really small. Sometimes they get a lot bigger. So what I'll do with these is I'm just going to slice them into little rings like that. And then I'm going to cut some up for my rice as well. Okay, so I sliced my shallots, and I cut one of the shallots up into smaller pieces. I put it in my rice pot. I'm just going to take 2 mushrooms for my rice. And for the rice, I just want small pieces. So I'm going to make a cut into 4 and cut it down into small pieces like this. And set that aside. Okay, I'll do one more. Now for the chicken marsala, I want a sliced mushroom. Okay, so the way I do that, and I got a very nice sharp knife, I put my fingers with my thumb behind my fingers, and I'm using this part of my hand is going to guide the knife. You see how my knuckles are folded in so I can never get my fingers? And I'm just going to slice down and try to make a thin slice to the end. And that's how I'm going to go through. And then when you get practice a little, it goes pretty quick. Just got to really watch your fingers. And you want nice, thin slices of mushroom. Alright, so look at my rice pot here. I got 1 tablespoon of butter and a little bit of olive oil. Just a little drizzle. I got my shallots and my mushrooms in there. I'm going to add some salt. A good pinch of kosher salt. Some fresh pepper. Fresh cracked pepper. And my dried thyme. Quarter teaspoon maybe. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is just give it a stir. I'm only going to cook this a couple minutes and I'll add my rice. Alright, so my vegetables cooked down maybe 2 minutes, minute and a half. I'm going to put my rice right in there. And then I'm going to turn up the heat to medium high and just start tossing my rice around with the olive oil, butter, shallots, mushrooms, and the dried thyme. And the smell when the thyme and the shallots start to cook together with the butter is just really, really incredible. You try this, it'll really blow you away. Alright, so while my rice is starting to get coated, I'm going to need 4 cups of liquid for the 2 cups of rice. But I want to save some of this chicken stock. So I used a measuring cup so I know how much liquid I got in there. And I'm going to save about 1/4 of this can for my Marsala, my chicken. And I'm going to fill this to 2 cups and then add 2 more cups into my rice so I know I have the right amount of liquid. Okay, so I stirred the rice continuously for just about 2 minutes on medium-high heat. It's going to toast the rice and coat it. So I'm ready to add the first 2 cups of my liquid. And I'll clean the spatula with the liquid. I'm going to add 2 more cups of water and bring it to a boil. Alright, take a look at my rice. Now once it comes to a nice steady boil like this, I usually let it boil for about 1 minute. I always give it one final stir. Make sure nothing gets burned on the bottom. Turn it all the way down to low and cover it. Simmer it 20 minutes. You got perfect rice. Alright, I got my rice going. I'm going to get to work on my chicken. So I got in the pan here, I got 2 tablespoons of butter and some olive oil. I got to turn up the fire to medium-high. And I think I need a little more olive oil in here. I just had a drizzle, but I want at least 2 tablespoons of each, the butter and the olive oil, to cook this in. So while that heats up, I'm gonna prepare my chicken very simply. I got some coarse sea salt that I'm using, or you could use, I use kosher salt, I use both. You want to coat it really well because we're not putting anything on the flour. You're just gonna season the chicken. And some fresh cracked black pepper. I found this imported sea salt at the farmer's market the other day. It's really, really good salt. Nice big crystals. Makes a difference. So I'm going to really toss this nice. Get it evenly coated. And the tongs are essential for something like this. They really make the job easy. And I want to get a really even coat of seasoning. And then while my pan continues to heat, I'm just going to get an even coat of the flour and just kind of make a pile to the side like this and coat all these pieces. My chicken's all coated in the flour. My butter's melted. I'm just going to toss the pan a little to combine it with the olive oil. And then I'll start layering in my chicken. And we're gonna brown this a couple minutes, 3 minutes on each side. Take it out of the pan and set it aside, and then we'll get working on our mushrooms. Alright, so about 3 or 4 minutes, I think my chicken can be flipped now. I'm looking for a nice golden brown. Not a dark golden brown, but just some color. And that's absolutely perfect. Alright, so only 3 minutes on the other side. My chicken's ready to be taken out. And you know, I wanted to mention, when I was laying the chicken into the oil, it fell off and splashed. And that's why it's important, whenever you put anything in hot oil, you lay it away from you like this, not this way. So if it does splash, you're not going to get oil on you. So I'm going to lower this flame and take out the chicken. And after I take out the chicken, you can see this is the butter and olive oil have combined with the excess flour, and it's already made kind of like a roux, which is a base for thickening sauces. So my mushrooms and shallots are going to go right in there. And what I want to do before I add anything else, I'm going to season this right away. Some kosher salt, some black pepper. I'm going to turn the heat up to high, and I really want to start cooking down the mushrooms and evaporating some of the moisture out of them. So take a look at my mushrooms and my shallots. I added a little bit more olive oil. My pan was dry, but I've been cooking these for almost about 5 minutes on high, and you can see they're starting to almost stick to the pan. That's what we want. We want caramelization, and we want to cook out all the excess water and extract all the flavor out of the mushrooms and the shallots. Now at this point, I can add the chicken stock, still with the flame on high, and that's about maybe a quarter of a cup to a third of a cup. And I'm going to add my Marsala wine, and this depends how much wine you add depends how much sauce you want. So you got to judge it based on how much chicken you have or how much extra sauce you want to have to serve over your rice or pasta. So I'm going to just eyeball it here. I'm going to make a little extra sauce, and I'm going to put in probably a cup and a half to 2 cups of wine because I want a good amount of sauce to put on top of my rice. Maybe a little extra splash. And bring this to a boil and let it just simmer until it's reduced by about half. And now at the same time, I think my rice is done. I'm just going to check on it. And you see the mushrooms and the shallots and the thyme kind of rose to the top. Yeah, this is perfect. I'm going to shut off the heat and fluff it up and keep it covered to stay warm. Okay, so look at my sauce. The Marsala wine and the chicken stock has been bubbling away on high. I reduced it down by about half. And now I want to add my cream. And you don't need a lot. This is like not even a quarter of a cup. Just a little bit to give it a nice creamy texture and a nice shiny look. Give that a stir. And I just want to taste it. It's really good. I'm just going to add a little pinch of salt and pepper. I'm going to put my chicken back in carefully. And make sure you coat the chicken really well in the sauce. I'm going to put this down to, turn the flame down to medium-low and let it simmer about 10 minutes till everything absorbs. Alright, so my chicken masala, I think it's done. I let it reduce down and simmer with the chicken for about 10 minutes to thicken a little bit and let the chicken absorb all of that sauce. I'm going to shut the flame and I'll show you how I'll plate it up. I'm going to grab a couple of nice medallions of chicken. And you can reduce this sauce as much as you want, make it as thick or thin as you want to. I like to have a little extra sauce, especially on top of rice. And now I'll come in here for some of the mushrooms and the extra sauce. And the shallots. Alright. Alright, so we plate it up, and then the last thing you want to do if you want to add a little garnish, take some chopped parsley and just put it on top. You don't need to. And you're ready to go. So let me give this a try. Really delicious. And the chicken, because we prepared it the way we did, we sliced it very thin. We cooked it in gently in the butter and the olive oil. It's so tender, it just melts away in your mouth. And that sauce reduced down and made for an outstanding, deep, rich, flavorful Marsala sauce. You really got to try it. Check out my YouTube channel. It's DiGiovanna Family Recipes. Make this chicken Marsala. You're going to really love it. Thanks for watching the video.